Super Hits 93.5. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Joining us in studio from Ogle County Solid Waste Management, Director Paul Cooney. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you along. Of course, it's always nice to talk about things people can do in and around the area, whether it be shopping or eating or bringing items in from other places and, again, shopping and purchasing items, but they all have to go somewhere, and that's where you come in.
Right. We're on the other end of the shopping part of everything.
the other end of the
People
equation.
buying all this stuff, and then what do you do with it when it reaches its end of life, right?
And so let's talk about end of life in regards to what happens to household items, because we all sort of know what happens when we take the garbage out to the curb. You get an idea, it goes to a landfill.
Some people do.
Yeah, or like metal items, but
Right.
some things around the house people dispose of improperly.
Oh, sure.
And that would be medication.
Yeah, definitely. Your different prescription and over-the-counter medications. Reminder here: we don't want that stuff in with your trash to go to the landfill, because eventually that leaches out into the waste, actually, and that ends up in leachate, which ends up in the wastewater treatment plant, and then it gets back as effluent into the environment. So we don't want to flush them down the toilet either, or pour them down the drain. So we want to keep them. We just want to dispose of those the right way. Plus, we don't want them just hanging around the house where kids or people could get access to them and things like that. And for years, the DEA has had a drug take-back day. We used to participate with that with the Sheriff's Department. I think that's coming up, next weekend.
Yeah, I think April 25th.
A nationwide program to take back drugs. But we don't do that now, because all of our law enforcement agencies in the county have a secure drop box. Here in Rochelle Police have a secure drop box, and we have one out by our office with the health department, a secure drop box for medications, and one place, one retailer in the county as well, just over here at Walgreens, has a kiosk for prescription take back as well.
And with the hospital here in town has one too in there, in one of the doorways.
I don't want to speak to that if I'm not sure, but that would be great if they had another outlet. I can check. I can find out pretty easily on that.
Pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about this medication, because again, you may think just a handful of pills, one plastic bottle in the garbage doesn't make a difference, but if you think about the volume, that is a lot of medicine that potentially could be dropped in the garbage. And even though it's in a plastic container, that's going to get crushed.
Right. And grassroots things, everybody would like to do something, right? So we all, we could always say, well, it's not that big of a deal for this or that, but that does add up and get magnified. So if you're going to use one of the drop-off containers, place pills into a plastic sealable bag, and you can recycle the plastic bottles with your regular household recycling once they're empty. If you want to rip off the tag or blot out your information, you can, but take the pills, pour them into a sandwich bag or something, and then seal it up. If it's a liquid type medication, you can just take the bottle and place it into the plastic bag and seal it up, and then put it into the kiosk. And then those blister pack pills are also acceptable. You don't have to take all the pills out of the blister packs. You can take the blister packs, package them up, put them in the sealable plastic bag, and put them into the container. And then all the cardboard or plastic packaging from the pills you could recycle with your regular household recycling if you have a curbside service. So we want to keep the unneeded and unwanted medications away from others, away from your pets, and keep them from the water supply. We don't want to flush them down the toilet or pour them down the drain. We don't want to put them in the landfill, because eventually the liquid in the landfill gets processed by the water treatment facilities, and they aren't designed to take some of those things out of the water that they accept. They're not designed to take out certain medications and things of that nature. So again, we have these drop boxes at all the law enforcement agencies in the county. We have the secure drop box outside our office at 909 Pines, and then also Walgreens here in town is a drop off for the prescription.
And that's great too. And if you've got antibiotics, same rules apply, but most importantly, finish your antibiotics. Don't have any left over, because you're ruining it for the rest of us. Right. Let's talk about other things you guys do. Getting rid of electronics. Boy, you know what? I've got 3 DVD players. Okay. What's your best advice?
Well, we have our monthly events. We have one coming up next week on Friday the 24th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 909 Pines Road in Oregon. Free permits are available for that. You can call 815-732-4020 or just email us, solidwaste@oglecountyil.gov. Permits come with a full list of accepted items, And we also are doing full battery collection now, even for single-use alkaline batteries at no charge. I'm not being charged for that now through a statewide program, so I'm taking rechargeable and non-rechargeable type single-use batteries. We want to keep those out of the trash and recycling as well. We don't want to put batteries, especially the rechargeable ones, the lithium-ions especially, we don't want to put those into the curbside trash or recycling container.
Isn't that a risk for the trucks?
It is a risk for the trucks. You can lose a waste hauling truck through a fire with that when it crushes that battery. Or if it survives the truck, batteries have destroyed entire recycling facilities.
Wow!
Because they're in with the other recycling, like the cardboard and the cans, and then they get moved around and broken up, and then it starts a chain reaction.
And when those things go off, they go off like crazy hot.
Yeah, they can. It's a rapid chemical reaction, a chain reaction, and if that battery is happening, if that's happening around other trash and other recyclables that are flammable, now you're going to start a much bigger fire than just that battery fire. Too.
And let's talk about the procedures that garbage trucks do when they are on fire and why you don't want this to happen on your street. Because what do garbage trucks do when they catch on fire? They unload their entire contents right there on the street in front of your house.
Right. Eventually that will be taken out. So, right. Yep.
So don't have the garbage truck unload all their garbage in front of your home for sure by throwing away your lithiums that way. Right. So you guys have an event coming up where people can take care of that.
Yep, exactly. So we accept all kinds of different electronics from people. Of course, it's mainly a short list is all your TVs, monitors, computers, laptops, cell phones, video game stuff, the DVD players, old VCRs we still see, those kind of things. And then wires and cords and peripherals and stereo equipment and all that kind of stuff. Limit of 7 items per permit. 7 big items.
Yeah.
So if someone has a whole bunch of small bulked up stuff together, like wires and things like that, and small stuff, we consider that to be 1 item. So, and that just is just corresponding to the state law with 7 items per household per visit. So
makes life a little easier that way.
Yeah, it does. It does. And then if a business has electronics to recycle, or a government institution, or some other kind of thing, we can take that separate. We have a separate program for that. We weigh it, and there's a charge for that, and also maybe a credit as well. But we have a separate program for business and schools, hospitals, office buildings, banks, things like that. We do that separate from our residential.
And if you miss the date on the 24th, you've got other dates coming up later on into the early summer.
Yeah, we have a Saturday in May. We'll go 8 a.m. to noon on that day. Is that May 16th?
May 16th,
May 16th. So we'll be out there 8 to 4. Permits will be available for that as well. I think we have a couple people on that list already for May 16th, because we also realize that people can't always show up on a Friday because they're working too.
Yeah.
But we're a little bit careful with how we allocate overtime for people and things like that at the county. So that's why we have an event on a Friday. So
tire collection coming up in June, which is very important because as a farm kid, I am not going to admit to how many tires we had stacked up in an old chicken house, but it was a lot.
A lot. Yep. You have tires June 6th. That's a Saturday. That event goes, I believe, 8 a.m. to 2 o'clock, I believe. We have to give a couple more hours. And then we have permits for that, and those permits are assigned by time. So we can unload the tires properly. We have a vendor come out from the Aurora area, and they provide the service, and they provide some manpower. We provide some manpower, and there's a small charge per tire, $2 per tire, limit of 10 per time slot.
Yeah.
If we have extra time slots available, someone can get multiple time slots if needed. But we try to fill up the first time slots right away with as many people as we can. And that's tires with rims and no rims, as long as it's not a giant farm tractor tire or semi-tire. We take car, light truck, lawnmower, ATV, UTV, those kind of regular size tires.
And for the sake of pest control, it's so important to get rid of tires to get rid of mosquitoes. Real quick, one last thing to touch on. You guys do take microwaves.
At our electronics collection, we do, yes.
Yeah, but there's a $5 charge. Why is that?
Only thing we charge for in the program is the microwaves. That's because the handling and then the dismantling of the microwave at the facility, the county gets charged for the microwaves. We are charged a per pound rate when I send them microwaves. So to offset some of that cost, we charge $5 a unit.
And it's $5 even for the little tiny microwaves or the giant behemoth from the 1970s.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So
Awesome. Well, Director Paul Cooney, any other events or things we want to touch base on yet this morning?
We hit several there. We have the event next week for electronics on April 24th. We also talked about May 16th event for electronics and June 6th for the tire event. So, So any questions, give us a call, 815-732-4020. They could email solidwaste@oglecountyil.gov. Check the county website. Everything's right on there as well. And we're on Facebook, Ogle County Solid Waste Management Department.
All right, Paul, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good luck collecting all of that stuff. Clean out your garages and your backyard.
Yes.
Super Hits 93.5.